Just how much excitement is there around the club for this fixture?
Yeah, really good to be here. Month when after the first leg or first round for the Premier League, Arsenal has done. It's difficult to think we were here in that moment. So it's a really important game because we can get points, and our biggest opponent this season cannot get it. But focus what you have to do. We play 2 times this season in the past as well, but especially two times this season in FA Cup, I think so, and it was a really tight games and really difficult.
How decisive do you believe this 90 minutes will be in the title race for this season?
It's really important, not decisive, because there's still many tough games for both sides. We have more games to play, but we cannot deny how important it is.
What do you think the most important quality is that your team needs to show against Arsenal? Is it more of a mental thing or a physical thing in your mind?
No, everything. When you play against this type of teams, that they control absolutely everything. But Arsenal always, since long time ago, and since I am aware, Arsenal was watching with Arsene Wenger, always have incredible details or care about the ball and all the players that they select to play in Arsenal club is with the biggest quality, biggest skills. But I think Mikel bring them in a dimension. In fact, they are huge competitors in all senses. They are so aggressive. They are able to go Anfield a few weeks ago, and a team like maybe is the best in the last years for the winning the second balls, long balls, second balls, transitions. Barcelona was better. So in terms of win duels were better, especially part of the game, much part of the game. So yeah, they control all the aspects, and we felt it. It's not, I don't say anything new. So in the 2 games we played this season, we felt it, and you have to challenge them in that terms. Otherwise, with the speed they have up front, for the intensity they have in the long balls, second balls, in the quality they have in a build-up, so always is difficult.
Hi Pep. Last summer when City sold Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal, did you ever consider that you might be fueling a potential title rival then? Also, have you ever come to regret that decision over the season, or was it more important to have a harmonious squad of players that wanted to be at the club?
The club that takes decisions what belief had to take when this kind of transfers happen is because the 3 parts that agree. It's not about just one part. The players that agree, the most important thing. The club want to sell, the club want to buy, so they agree. So the club takes decisions before you ask the question, and that is the risk. So they are happy, we are happy. So at the end, we don't have any I would say complaints about Gabriel and Alex, what they have done for this club and in the last years.
Yes, Pep. Everyone sees all the goals Erling scores, but can you share some insight about what kind of player he is and teammate when the cameras are off?
I said many times, exceptional. We are really impressed about how he behaves, how is his mood and his way he lives his life and his love and in the football. So it's exceptional.
How do you think Mikel Arteta plans to stop him tomorrow?
I don't know. I didn't speak with him.
What would your advice be?
To who?
How would you stop a player like Erling Haaland?
What he has shown in his career, not here, is difficult to can imagine. But I think as a team, to be involved as less as possible. So, yeah. So when we play against him when he was in Borussia Dortmund, is try to have 70-80% of ball possession to don't be involved as much as possible. As much we have the ball, we have more chances. But the game we're going to play tomorrow will be, I guess, a game like a lot of transitions and a lot of duels, because they plan to play a game and so aggressive, almost man-to-man all around the pitch, and that's why the only man free is the keeper, so that's why the way you do the process is difficult.
Hi Pep. So Erling and Arsenal captain Martin Ødegaard, they are good friends outside the pitch, and on Saturday you said your affection and respect for Mikel will never change. How does these personal friendships give, or to what extent do these personal friendships give an extra dimension to a game like this tomorrow?
With Mikel?
Yes,
Oh,
for
the
instance.
same one. So nothing changed. What we live, what I think about him. Absolutely nothing changed. We live in London, live here, we see less, so that's normal. We talk less because many games, and we are rivals right now, but the relations always have been, and I hope will be the same.
Mikel said in January that he wished his biggest rival wasn't you because he wishes everything, all the best for you, all the success for you. What do you think about being rivals with a good friend like this?
It's not the first time in sport history. So, also I was a football player, I have a lot of friends in other teams, and remain the same. You want to win, we're going to do a maximum, but at the end, the relation remain.
Thank you.
Pep, when two teams that basically want the ball, to control the ball every minute, face each other, and there is only one football to be controlled, is it about knowing that you will suffer at some points? How do you make sure that you control more the ball than them?
But in this type of games, and we decide, or they decide to make so intense in many things and be so aggressive in many departments. Always there are spaces are there. Depends of the personality of the quality of the players to have the ball even in under situations under pressure. But it's more so will not be a game like one team will have 65-70% ball possession tomorrow. This is not going to happen.
Hi Pep. Going back to Mikel Arteta, when he took over at Arsenal, when he got the job, certainly they were 10th in the Premier League. How have you seen the job he's done from afar, developing them from that point to where they are now, and obviously so far this season the standout team, certainly in that first half of the campaign?
I think the development of the club since Mikel took over Arsenal managerial career, it's obvious. So it's a reality. So at the end, have to change, because I think when you talk about the word about manager, so I'm a trainer, football trainer. I'm not a manager. So I handle what happened. So I had the feeling that Mikel changed the structure of the club, mentality of the club, not just 4-3-3 or 4-2-3 or this build up or long balls or whatever. So a lot of decisions, change a lot of players, and with incredible being supportive, I guess, from outside. I didn't speak about this with him, supportive for the hierarchy of the club, and that's why the success is there. So at the end, he came back. Arsenal in the position I've been now. Before it was the top 6, I would say no. Before now will be top 8. To fight for the Premier Leagues in the future, because Newcastle is there. So, and so every year is will be more and more difficult. And Arsenal in the last years never was there, or was far away. And last season was close, really close to fight not for the title, but to be in the top 4. And this season make another step to be, because all season have been there. We are there at the end of the last 1 month, 2 months, but all season have been there. So that means the consistent have been impressed, have been really good.
Mikel said that tomorrow his players have to be perfect against you. Is it the same for your players? Do they have to be perfect?
The perfection doesn't exist in football, so you cannot be perfect and win the game. So we know, like it happened against Bayern Munich, and would happen in the future against top teams. You have to be, your standards has to be so high, because they demand the way they play and the way they have done so far against us or other teams. They demand to be really, really good. It's read exactly what you have to do to try to, to impose our game.
Pep, at this time of the season, your teams tend to go on these incredible runs. Is there a reason for that in terms of training, conditioning, or psychology?
No, I never believe about the training conditions. People, when we lose a game, the first target or the first argument is said, because physicality is not good, the team is not good physicality. That is bullshit. It's many things is involved in a football game, and of course, I said 2 weeks ago. Now both teams. I talk of myself. Sorry for Arsenal. My team. We arrive at the end of the season that we know if we lose games, that the situation will be over, and that's why when you live in this type of situation, then September, October, November, you cannot have that feeling, because especially when you make back-to-back championship, because when we make the year our first Premier League, when we do the 100 points, we start the season like every game is a final, every game is a final, every game is a final. And I remember perfectly that feeling from outside Arsenal had this season from the beginning. Our game is a final. When we start this season, first game, second game, third game, after back-to-back Premier Leagues, it's not a final. Now, in the last 2 months, we had that feeling, FA Cup, Champions League, and Premier League, that is the truth, because we see the end real close, you know, and now we know exactly what we are playing for. So it's many years, many months to arrive in this part of the size of the league, to have the chance in our hands. Of course, they have the chance in their hands too, because if they win, they will depend on them. You know, the destiny will be in their hands. But if you win, definitely the destiny will be in our hands, and we win this opportunity for tomorrow, for the 7 games left that still we have.